Hello and welcome to Let's Talk HR with Dr. Henning, the talk show that spotlights HR professionals and talks about all things HR. I have a question for you. What is your leadership thermostat? More specifically, when it comes to your leadership, are you a thermometer or are you a thermostat? There's definitely a difference between the two. Want to know where you fall? Well, my special guest is someone who will let us know where we gauge. She is Verlinda Henning, CEO of Faith People Memphis. Hello, Verlinda.
Hello, Dr. Henning. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Well, we are so glad to have you here today. So before we get into the leadership thermostat, which we cannot wait to get to, I want to talk a little bit more about you. So you're a former SHRM Memphis president. Correct. And the CEO of Faith People Memphis.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about SHRM Memphis and when you were the president.
Okay, so I became president of SHRM Memphis in 2018. I was president in 2018 and 2019. We were coming off of a time when, due to budget constraints, we'd not been able to meet in person. Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
And
Pre-COVID.
So we came back together in 2018. One of my goals was to bring the board back together,
yes,
to bring the people back together that are HR
yes,
here in Memphis and the Mid-South, to build community, to make people feel welcome and engaged and grow our chapter. And it was wonderful because I saw that happen thanks to the team that was our board then.
Right.
Everybody worked together and made us go on to bigger and better things where we are now.
Yeah, you were a successful president in 2018 and 2019. I was president in 2010. Woo, that's a long time ago, but that's what we do as presidents. We make things happen. So you're also the CEO of Faith People Memphis. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I worked at MLGW in corporate human resources, and I retired there and decided I wanted to branch out, grow my skills, and based on experience I'd had in faith-based organizations I participate in, I saw a need for HR support, assistance, and leadership. And I said, this is what I want to target. Okay. So hence the name Faith People Memphis.
All right.
Now, it has expanded since then. The past couple of years, I've done some leadership training and development for small to mid-sized organizations here in Memphis, did some virtual training during the pandemic, and most recently, I was part of the project team that helped the University of Memphis achieve their $25 million grant for workforce development here in the Mid-South.
Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. You're so right. Organizations, faith-based organizations, they are businesses as well. So they need the HR support. We are everywhere. Now, you're also a mentor for an adult education, theological educational program, right?
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, that is called Education for Ministry. It's not meant to make everybody a preacher or a pastor. Let me get that out there.
Okay.
What it is meant to do is to help adults find their calling, discern where God might be leading them on their faith journey. It's offered through the University of the South. Okay. My particular group meets at St. George's Episcopal in Germantown, Tennessee. Yes. But it's open to all. You don't have to be any particular denomination. And one of the great things about it is you hear everyone's story. Everyone has a story, and that carries right over into HR, into community building, leadership, and that's a huge part of the program, is hearing other stories and helping people grow on the journey together.
You're so right. Everyone does have a story, and I know something about your story that's a fun fact. I think you were a contestant on the game show Jeopardy, is that right?
That is exactly right, Dr. Henning. I sure was. It's a lifelong dream of mine. I had auditioned 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
Twice here in Memphis, once in Charlotte, North Carolina. I got the call last February. Would I get to LA on March the 16th? I said yes. I didn't look at my calendar. I said, I'm going. That was something I wanted to do, and to get out there. Now, Alex Rebecca died already.
Yeah.
But to be on that stage and to know that you have to be smart and quick to even get there.
Yes.
That was a success to be there. And winning, I won a game, and to be over 60 and win, that was a statement to me. It says people over
Absolutely.
60 are vital. I had fun with it. I had a good time.
Yeah.
And it was exciting.
She had a good time and she won, so that makes it a fun fact about you. So when
extra
people
fun.
recognize you, they see you, hey, that's the Jeopardy lady, all right?
That is I was leaving a Memphis Tiger basketball game this past season, and I was walking out of the forum, and a car pulled up, and somebody said, hey, it's the Jeopardy lady. That's exactly what they call me if they don't know my name, the Jeopardy lady.
Well, that's what we'll call you, the HR professional Jeopardy lady. That's what we'll do.
I need a bigger nameplate for my desk.
You do, you do. Well, listen, let's get into leadership and let's talk about leadership. You know, there are all types of leadership philosophies. There are all types of leadership places and leadership philosophies. But there is something that you talked to me about that I thought was very interesting. You talked about the leadership thermostat. Tell me what that is.
Okay, so you have a thermostat in your house, and in this heat, we all know about our thermostats.
Right.
And a thermostat's a closed-loop device. It senses the difference between what the actual temperature in the room is and what you want it to be.
Okay.
And then it makes the other parts open, the valves open to make it cooler or warmer.
Okay.
So a thermostat controls the atmosphere,
All right.
how you set it. And when you look at that in an organization, you may come into an organization as a new leader and say, it feels cold in here to me, or it feels warm in here. It feels like everything is amped up and anxious and frustrated. So that helps you get a gauge on where things are and then how you may need to modify or approach your leadership style in dealing with that.
Okay. So in the thermostat philosophy now, in the thermostat, you're the leader.
Yes.
And so you are the person that sets the tone.
Yes.
I guess, for the team. You are the person that keeps things calm.
Right.
When it gets hot, you may have to raise your temperature a little, but you want to keep it on a steady course. And that's so important with leadership.
You do, because you can be in an organization that's facing a huge challenge, maybe a critical issue, and you've got to respond. But it's how do you respond so you're not like this, because that agitates the team, that makes every goal harder to reach. It ramps up anxiety, causes mental health issues. So you may need to be more forceful, more heated, but it's keeping it on an even keel, not to get too warm or too cold. It's about balance and keeping things smooth as you can, keeping things even, helping people adjust to whatever the challenges are they face.
And you know, it's so important to know that in leadership, consistency is so important. So you spoke about going up and going down. What team members like to see is consistency through your leadership, consistency in your decisions, consistency on how you treat them. So that thermostat is what the team looks to, right?
Yes.
In order to become successful and operate as a team. How important is that?
That's very important, because if I'm the leader and you're approaching me as a team member and you don't know who you'll get that day, which Verlinda is going to show up today?
Right.
Which leader will be here?
Right.
Is she going to freeze me out? Is she going to blow me out with heat or anger or frustration? You need to know what your leader is, who your leader is, and understand that, yes, they're human like you are, but understand that their style is inherently their style, who they are. And that's one of the important things about being a leader, is being genuine, being true to who you are.
Being true to who you are and being concerned about your team that's around you. Having an unstable leader, up and down, right? That really impacts morale.
It is tremendously frustrating, can be scary at times, can be demoralizing, disenfranchising. I think you're this kind of a leader, but all of a sudden you're not. I thought we had a good relationship. Now I don't know what's happened. No communication, rapid changes. It builds lack of trust. It builds fear. It makes people look for the exit door. I need to find a better place.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be part of the Great Resignation now because I don't know who this person is I'm working for anymore.
Right. And people often say that employees don't leave companies, they leave the manager. They leave the supervisor.
They leave the leader.
And how you make a person feel makes it all important, because sometimes as managers, we have to give bad news often, and especially in HR. We have to give bad news. We do. But how you make a person feel is going to keep them there. Wouldn't you say?
When you have that relationship built as a leader, yes, I often have had to deliver bad news, unpleasant news, sometimes sad news to people.
Yes.
But to be able to deliver that and understand that the relationship I have and the genuine care I have for the person is the bedrock, is the foundation. It doesn't change the bad news.
Right.
But it helps the person understand that this is not coming from me to you. This is a business related decision.
Right.
Something that I have to do, but I still care for you.
Right.
I care about you as a human being, as a person, at the level we have our relationship thermostat set.
Right. Leading with the heart is so important, leading with the heart. So we talked about the thermostat. It's that constant leader who shows consistency, care, and trust. What does the leader that's a thermometer, what does that do to the workplace?
Well, the leader thermometer is something that is more volatile. It's up and down, and there are times when you have to adjust. You have, as we said earlier, you may have to be situationally more of a warm or a hot leader in a certain circumstance, but it's adjusting to the needs at the time.
Yes.
It's not just, well, I feel like being mad today, so I'm just going to come in and rant and rave and make noise, and because maybe I had a bad day. Maybe my air conditioner went out at home. Maybe, you know, something bad happened to me, and I'm just going to act that way. That's not being a good leader. That's not being genuine. That's letting, what we talk about in HR, don't bring what happens to you into the workplace. You can't totally divorce it from who you are, but you don't let it impact what you're doing.
What you're doing in the workplace. It's so true.
Emotional control, it's emotional awareness, situational awareness, it's emotional intelligence.
That's exactly what it is. And we know with emotional intelligence, it is the way you react to different situations, right? And so I always say, learn how to respond instead of react. Reactionary actions sometimes end up in places we don't want to be. But if you learn how to respond to different situations, you can gauge the room, gauge the situation, and try to iron it out in a more civil and more, professional way. So important, emotional intelligence. So let's talk about leadership mistakes. We talk about leadership mistakes. There are a lot of them. Give me some examples of what you think are some leadership mistakes.
Some of the biggest ones, and there are many, these are the ones that I think really break down organizations. Lack of trust.
Lack of trust.
When you place someone in a position, let them do what you've entrusted them to do. That doesn't mean you don't know what they're doing, but don't come behind them and make decisions based on something they did. Don't change what they're doing. Let them work through it. Trust that if there's an issue, they'll come to you. Let people do what you have charged them with the responsibility of doing.
That is so true, because listen, you hired the person to do the job, but you're coming around them. Sometimes we call that micromanaging, right?
Yes.
You do not want to micromanage the professionals.
If you feel like you have to micromanage, maybe you hired the wrong person.
Maybe you did.
Or maybe you need to get your ego out of it and and let other people have a chance. You weren't born as a leader. You had to grow into where you are.
Absolutely.
I think another leadership mistake is not giving people permission to try things.
Yes.
It's okay to try.
Yes.
Maybe it doesn't work as well as it could have,
Mhm.
but every experience, good and bad or indifferent, is a learning experience. People learn from what they try to do.
Absolutely. And so what you do if you're in an organization and you have a job that's not really flexible in that way, but you want people to grow, you want them to try something new, you create stretch opportunities for them,
Yes.
stretch assignments, things that you can do. And it can also align to what your strategic goals are for that organization as well.
And it should. When you look at what your goals are and you look at your team, I say, I see potential in this person.
Yes.
They need to grow in this area. Here's a way they can do that and help us reach a goal. So you're helping your organization, you're helping your team member, because it's important to realize those aren't divorced.
Right.
Your organization and your team
Yes.
work in sync.
They work
They
together.
work together.
They work together.
And that's your role.
And that's your role, to keep things together. Often it's said you manage things, but you lead people, right? So you do a little bit of both, even as a leader. You manage maybe processes or projects, but you lead with vision, casting strategy, those types of things. So it's also important. So here it is. What's the key to leadership success, in your opinion?
I think the biggest keys to leadership success, and I said this earlier, be genuine. Own who you are.
Yes.
You are yourself.
Yes.
What do you bring? Know yourself. Know what your strengths are. Know what challenges you. Get to know the organization you're a part of. Read the room. Know their history before you start to change things dramatically.
Right.
Know who the informal leaders are, because they can have as much power as you do, and they can make or break you.
Absolutely. It's interesting you say that about informal leaders. Understand, you have them in every organization. They don't hold a title, right? Not a leadership title. They hold a title, but not maybe a leadership title or a lead position. But those are those influences and influencers who can help you get projects done because of the way that they position themselves, the way their opinion speaks volumes to the team.
Weight. They count. And if you can develop the rapport, develop the relationship with those people, that helps you. That helps the team, that helps the organization. You can help those people grow too.
Absolutely. And so, like you said, you don't necessarily always have to grow upward. You can grow outward. And it makes a big difference. And sometimes those are your key employees more than the ones that hold the title.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Because they have so much influence and they genuinely care as a rule, and they're the ones that can help you as a new leader. They can help you get the lay of the land. Talk to them, learn their story. As I said, talking about the ministry program I facilitate, everyone has a story. Learn their story. Learn the stories of the people in your organization. Get to know them. Build that rapport.
Build that rapport.
In a genuine way.
In a genuine way. And that's exactly what leaders do. So what if you have come to the conclusion that you need to improve as a leader? What are some of those things? Can you get better as a leader?
You can always get better. I think one of the things we need to do, or you need to do, anyone needs to do as a leader, is to set stretch goals for you.
Yes.
What's uncomfortable for me? What's hard for me? I need to practice that. I need to put myself in situations that do that. I need to network with others, and I need to get involved with my professional association. Put in a shameless plug for SHRM Memphis.
SHRM Memphis.
But network. Learn from people. Read. Every day you can learn. Go to conferences. The SHRM National Conference just wrapped. I was not able to go this year, but go to conferences. Do continuing education. All those things help you learn, but get out in your community. talk to others in your organization. Talk to your team members.
Yes.
What can you learn from them?
Yes, there's always something to learn.
Yes.
And it's always good to have a mentor as well.
Yes.
Watching people that are already successful in it, it makes it easier for you. And then you can ask those difficult questions, right? You can ask those difficult questions, what to do in different situations because they've already experienced it.
Right. And when you have a mentor, and that's something, I'm involved in the Memphis Institute for Leadership Education at the University of Memphis, Vogelman College of Business. I'm on their board and I'm a mentor to students who are in the business college. And I've had the pleasure and the privilege to mentor many students for over 10 years.
Yes.
And to be a mentor, and I've had mentors that have helped me learn how I need to grow, how I can be a better leader.
Yes.
Because it's easy to think, well, I'm, at the pinnacle of my career. I'm doing so well, and my goodness, people know me, and maybe I was a president and I did this and that.
Yes.
But there's always room to grow.
Always.
To be a mentor and to be mentored.
Yes.
Never stop learning. Be curious.
Yes.
Ask the questions.
Always be teachable.
Yes.
No matter what level you end up, always be teachable. So
Always.
we've learned today, are you a thermometer or are you a thermostat? The right and correct answer is to be a thermostat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Verlinda, for coming today. This has been absolutely wonderful.
Janine, it was a joy to be here. Thank you for asking me.
You are so welcome. Wow, this has been a show to encourage you to engage your leadership thermostat and lead with the purpose of building trust, gaining confidence with your followers, and promoting growth and encouraging innovation. Be sure to watch Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen every second and fourth Friday on the YouTube channel of the same name. Please note, you can watch Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen and prior episodes at any time. Go to the YouTube channel and type in the talk show name. But if you want just to be notified when new episodes post, be sure to subscribe, no fee, to the channel and click the notification bell. This is HR TV. I'm Dr. Deneen, and I want to talk HR with you. HR forever. See you next time.